So you see everybody's coming in right now, so it's very interesting to have you here, to hear what you're saying.
Thank you very much.
Would you love to drive a race again like 1997?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm getting a bit old now, but and also my competitors are getting younger and younger. So I started in Formula One, I was 27. So most of the guys these days, they are stopping at 27.
I told the audience that you still drive races like ADAC, but in private life, only e-cars.
Well, yes. I mean, this is, you see a picture there where I built the first hybrid race car on the track. And that was a really interesting project I like to do, but it was, it has, let's say, a history behind it. You know, I was actually looking for sponsors as a normal Formula One driver. Is not only trying to develop the car, doing the best on the racetrack, also Formula One driver has to find partners and companies to support the team. And I had a very special moment when I asked a former sponsor who was in the oil industry, oil company, and asking him if he are interested to join next year's season. And he said, listen guys, we spent all the money now in soccer, because soccer is the best green field. Yes, there's more green image you can't achieve. And that was on the good old days of Formula One, where a lot of money was available, but you could see that oil companies were disappearing, the main industry input for motorsport, and we had to look for other options.
So that was really the turning point for you to become interested in it, or even the thing of new technology, something really new, and perhaps the kind of mobility of the future?
Yes, it was, because you could see also information from Google that most people interested in car industry or new technology, they want to find efficiency in saving more fuel, they want to find efficiency, they want to have a more green outlook prospect. And I was thinking, what can we do? And I started, saw that Toyotas were running in Germany already with hybrid technology. So what I was trying to achieve was finding an energy recovery system somehow. And I made this special concept on this car, you see on the picture probably here, where the electric motor is on the front axle. There is the best place for an electric motor to have so much torque on the front axle while braking, so you can really put the energy into the batteries via the electric motor, instead of still Formula One is using only the rear suspension or the rear wheels for recuperations, which is not the perfect place to be. But the concept was very interesting, and I tried to achieve that, and I went away and learned about the batteries, how battery works, how lithium-ion battery works, how an electric motor works, which was a little bit, because I was always a 100% petrol head guy.
Yeah, okay.
So it was quite challenging. I remember all the stuff we learned in school before, so then I said, oh, that was meant like this. So I then started to learn about electricity and electric components in cars and so on.
When did you start it?
I started the project in 2007,
okay.
and I ran the car in 2008.
Okay, because I hosted a little bit of the Le Mans race this year, and there are many hybrid cars starting, and I was really, excited. Well, perfect. They try to get it into the motorsport more and more. Is it something you think that will become even more, or is it just something to have besides?
Well, to make it this way, they're downsizing also the main combustion engines. Yeah, that means Porsche, for example, with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, is a lot lighter to compensate the extra weight of the electric components. And that, with my project, that was already the idea, just to make the engines, the combustion engine, smaller. And the problem is with the normal aspirated engines, without turbocharged, without anything, to achieve a lot of horsepower for racing, they need to have a lot of RPMs. And the RPMs is basically killing the lifetime of the engine because of the friction. So that's why Formula One is shifting now to turbocharged engines and have light engines, and to achieve a recovery system with the electric components, the horsepower required. Yes, and with a turbocharged engine you can achieve a lot more power, but it's less sexy, obviously.
Okay, it depends on what you think is sexy, and electromobility is getting sexy more and more. So you created the first electronical racing car, and you use technologies like Tesla does or will do. In your opinion, what's the reason that e-mobility isn't sexy right now in Germany? We heard that 80% of the e-mobility cars are bought by men and women are not interested. Yes. I said, rule the design. Yeah. Okay, I would like it, but it doesn't look like really.
Well, yes, I mean, I think it's all, let's say, still quite new. I mean, you have also the Germans, I have to say as well, here in Germany, they are also quite logic in terms of buying electric cars. They are too expensive right now, and it's also a question of money. At the end, to purchase an electric car. I mean, you can't be an environmentally friendly person, yes, and standing behind new technology. But if you can't afford it, it doesn't make sense. So
how much is it to build something like that? Just around?
No, the battery is the most expensive part on such a vehicle, and what you have to also understand is the battery is the investment of the future. Let's say the car itself is not that expensive to build, but the electric battery is or a lot more expensive, and it is a big asset in one car. Mm-hmm. So you pay a battery, let's say it has to last at least 15 years or maybe 20 years, and in order to achieve that you have to treat the battery quite professional, and it's like when you build a solar powered house. Yes, mm-hmm. Instead of a conventional heating system, you try to have solar panels on the roof or other items which are much more costly
at the beginning. Yeah.
But it pays off after 10 years. Yeah. Yes, okay. And that's the same with the battery. The battery becomes at today's stage becomes effective, positive in 10 years. Yeah? The car has to last that long. We'll see Tesla if they achieve to make the batteries cheaper. If they are achieving it to make it more affordable for normal people, then it makes sense. Yeah?
Okay. Can you tell us how far is the car and how long can you drive with this electric motor?
On my racing car? Yeah. Well, that car was designed really to do also, we had a sponsor who was interested to join the project, and for them we made the car like it could do a complete lap on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So we had nearly 9 kilowatt hour battery size in the car. It was in the floor, built in the floor, so the center of gravity was quite low. So we could achieve a good position for the battery, also a safe position, because we had to do all the crash tests as well. If you use the FIA joined the project, but they were all scared because they thought there's maybe an atomic bomb in the car. Yes, so we had to make it safe. That also I was a bit afraid that I was having 400 volts of electricity, and especially in rainy conditions, I was thinking maybe I get a power hit.
Much more power than you need.
and so we had to do all this first development, really, crash testing and so on and so on, and we achieved that. Yeah. The car was running not the full 24 hours. Unfortunately, the original gearbox, the normal gearbox, broke twice in the race. So the electric, and luckily I had this electric motor on the front. I could always come back to the pits.
Okay. you told me or you said a minute ago that it's really new, but I drove the Toyota Hybrid 10 years ago when it came out, and I thought, my God, it's so fascinating, it's so great, why doesn't everybody want to drive a car like that? Because it looked like a normal car, it was interesting to see how you save power inside, but why do you think it takes more than 10 years? How long will it take for everybody to be fascinated?
Hybrid car is different. A hybrid car, I was talking about a fully electric car. Hybrid car, I mean,
but even they are not really in the mind of people.
No, it's because technology sounds a bit complicated. I was talking also in those days with people of Toyota and other car manufacturers, and they said the biggest problem they have is really to approach the people and explaining them the technology. And when there's an electric motor in there and battery, which every car has got inside,
okay.
You know, it's not
so
something
you think
special.
It's easier? Okay.
But it gets somehow complicated, and there's not a common understanding about the system, how it works. It's quite simple, but it takes time to people to understand how it works and where are the advantages and disadvantages, of course.
Do you think that the government goal for 2020 regarding electric cars will be possible to hold?
Well, but this is, I think it will be a big challenge, and it will not be able to do without any support from the government, because still, I like also the real good cars, you know, V8 cars and so on, but you need to have it, let's say you have to have a better price possibility. Okay. I mean, if you go to Norway, for example, the electricity price over there is so cheap, yes, and they create 98% of the electricity via watercraft, and electricity is really nothing. They can afford to support this, yes, because it also creates work in this particular part of the country. Yeah? If you build your own electricity, or if you are even now doing a project where I do my own cars, I have an own solar panel on the roof, and I create my own power for the car. So that is a situation will in 10-15 years will be much easier and much more affordable.
Okay, there's already a racing Formula E. So what's the difference between the electric and combustion engine racing cars, especially to watch, because they do it that people watch it, that they can earn money by it, that they have them fun themselves. But on the other hand, is there a big difference, or doesn't it look different?
Well, I always said to myself, for racing you only need 4 wheels and a steering wheel. That's the most important thing you need. But you have to say Formula One, and especially the old Formula One, have their fan group, yes, their audience, and they probably don't like this Formula E championship because there's no noise, you don't feel the speed or don't see the speed. But you can achieve everything. I mean, you have in a Formula One car, you have today 150 liters of fuel. There's so much energy you can't achieve with an electric car. But these days you can use induction systems for charging the cars on the track, or you can change batteries in 10 seconds if you want. I mean, you can do with strategic compensation, you can, let's say, compensate a real Formula One race. It's possible, but you will not have the same fans like you have in Formula One, because it's a new, let's say, a new technology, and you need new people to attract it. Formula One has a problem at the moment that it can't reach the younger generation. So you have this old group of fans, but they are dying with, you know, with the age. And the young people these days, they have so many possibilities in sport. They have so many watching the screen. If you're going to see a Formula One race these days, still, even Mercedes is only winning at the moment, but it's still very exciting to see because the speed is there live, which is really, let's say, a special thing. You know, if you see the car coming by, they are not so noisy anymore, but there's still a big show, and the kids or the young generation of these days, they are losing interest in this kind of sport at the moment.
Okay. So will there be once a car covered completely with solar panels, just driving in Qatar or Dubai with a lot of sun, just by energy getting right now? Or is this so far away that we shouldn't think about it?
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but I don't think that I don't think that Formula One, as it is now today, will disappear in this concept. I think they will go for ages, but it will be a second market for other kind of motorsport with environmentally friendly products. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come back to the normal mobile people. You have a house completely not immobile, but it's you charge your house with your car or something like that. I read about it.
We
so
could.
You're
I
really
asked Tesla.
But yeah,
Yes,
okay.
but I asked Tesla to do that, but they didn't want to when I asked them last year. And the outcoming was they are having their own house batteries now. Yes, and it's actually possible that for example, I go to the supercharger somewhere near to my house, charge the battery for free, and then go home and charge the house. Yes, with that free battery. That would have been possible, but Tesla was not interested to do that. I mean, it will be at that stage soon that you can achieve that without a problem. Yes, because I was looking for a project not to buy the batteries, yes, for the house, but have an electric car and use this as a buffer. Yes, to use electric where I charge for working. Let's say I work there and charge in the city. I come back home, have the electricity for the whole night. That is actually possible to achieve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned Tesla, what do you think of Tesla's approach to producing cars in future or the next time?
Well, I think it is a complete. I'm driving Tesla now for a year, and for me, it's becoming so easy to sit in the car. You don't need any keys. What they have done to achieve that car, it is so simple. Yes, you have a big screen there. It's so useful. It is like it's contemporary with the times of our generation, who's using smartphones. Communication is much easier. Okay. You can communicate. I can look on my phone where my car is there or stolen. I can see if I can put the air conditioning on. So if I'm leaving home, so the car is perfectly cool. There are some standard issues in the cars, which is a guideline for the future. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that it will also influence the life besides automotive industry or besides mobility, as you mentioned, housing, working, whatever?
I think future mobility will be linked together with the house, the car, autonomic driving. They will all come together and playing soon, maybe in the next 10 years, a big role. Yeah.
Any questions from you? If you would like to, or if you have one. Okay, then my question is, how would you like, not what you expect it will be, but how would you like the automotive industry to change over the next 10 years? If you had a wish list, what would be on place 1, 2, 3?
Not really much, because they're doing a really good job, the automobile industry. I mean, they're building fantastic cars in every region. The e-mobility is still on the development move, yeah, but it will come step by step. I mean, we have great cars at the moment. I think, or if it is a Porsche or Mercedes, BMW or VW, whatever, they build. And they're doing a really big steps in development. I remember when I was racing in the early stage and I drove with a 911, I had a chance to drive on a Nordschleife in '85. And you had to really grab your balls to drive fast this car, and it was so dangerous. The car was so tricky. But if you sit in the Porsche these days, if you have a chance to, there is so much development in the car. They're so much easier to drive. There's so much more protection. They have it's incredible. In this 30 years, has done a big step, this development, this automobile industry, yeah. And yes, and the cars are going to improve even further, yeah. So it's got it all, yeah.
But do you expect cars like a Porsche 911 will come as e-car in between the next 5 years?
Well, it will be depending at the end on the emotion, you know, what kind of person you are. If you like, I mean, you can see now the last 911 6 cylinders are built, and everybody is running after to get the last one, yes, the last 6 cylinders, because they're gonna, after Le Mans victory for Porsche, they're all gonna produce 4-cylinder engines, and that is only an emotional decision to do that. And the car and the drivers out there, the people who buy cars, are all emotional driven.
Okay. So do you think that this could be a marketeer thing, a marketeer topic, to bring it more to the people, that they think, my God, it's the sexiest thing in the world to have an e-car, or to...
Well, I drive an e-car because...
So well, it's sexy?
No, I just enjoy it, and I like the technology, but I'm also fed up with the noise, you know. I have my ears ringing still from those days of Formula One,
okay.
and it's so nice to be sitting in a car with no noise. And it's also good if you come very late home. Okay. Nobody hears you.
Okay. Last chance for you to ask questions right now. But I think there's nobody. So what are your next projects regarding cars or e-mobility or e-living?
Well, I just finished my last project, which is the house, yes, with the completely independent system. So it's a kind of smart grid project, you know, where I have 2 electric cars for my wife and me, and be completely independent and also produce their own energy. So now after that, this project is finished, we'll see. I will do probably another project.
Nothing in mind. Okay. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for talking to us, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah.